right, so the first thing you're going to do is go to flipgrid.com. And you can just go through Google or you can type it in. Either way, it'll work. And then you're going to go to Educator Login up at the top of the screen. And then you're going to log in with Microsoft. It might remember your Microsoft stuff if you're already logged in to Microsoft through other things. Okay, so once you are logged in, you'll see that you have the option. If you're on My Activity or a different one, you can always go to My Grids because that's where you find the Add New Grid button. So when you click the Add New Grid button, you'll be able to name your grid. So like for this one, I'll just name it Practice. But this would be a great place to, like, you could name it. So you have a grid, and then within the grid, you can have different topics that the students respond to. So you only really need to create the grid one time. It's almost like the meeting place that your kids go to, and then they'll see, like, I don't want to call it assignments because I'm assuming you're doing this more for a social aspect. But you can add a bunch of different new topics within that same grid. So this grid could be the name of your classroom, for example. So you could just put Miss Yarbrough's Star Students or something like that. And then I would say the easiest way to do this with the home setup and the way that we have things running right now would be the student ID. I know you want it to be very secure, so I don't think you're going to be interested in making it a public grid. And you have first graders, so I'm pretty sure you don't want them to have to type in their school email and log in with their Microsoft account because that'd be kind of more difficult. So I'd say the best solution would be student ID for you. So we'll name our grid, we'll select student ID as the way for logging in. And then right here, if you want to have a special flip code for your grid that is the same every single time, like, you could keep it however it has it set up with your name in it, or you could name it something. And as long as that's available, you can choose it as an option and then click next. The students can use that URL to get to your grid later. But there's other ways too. So let's go ahead and keep moving on. So a really easy way to do this, I would think, would be to put their first and last names and then their student ID that they already have. Like, for example, if my name is Hello, and then my last name is there, and my student ID is TH311456 or something like that. I would say this would be easier for them to remember. If you want to create a unique student ID that's different than that, like if you just want it to be hello there, you could do that too. Like their first and last name, whatever you think will be easiest for them, or H there, like whatever. But that's totally up to you. If it were me, I'd probably do it this way. Doesn't mean that it's the right way to do it. That's just probably how I do it. You can also create, if you know how to create a CSV file from an Excel document, then you can, but you certainly don't have to. That would just be a way that you could upload all of them at the same time. It's just a different way. You just do save as, and you save, like if you have your roster typed out already and it has these three things listed in it, then you could just save as a CSV file instead of an Excel file. And then upload the file here and it would figure out the data for you. Or, you only have like 20 something students, so you could just add them in one at a time. And again, theoretically, you only have to do this once because your grid is something that the kids are going to visit. No matter how many topics you add, they can just keep visiting the same grid. So I'll click next. Let's pretend like I added my full roster. I don't know why I said roster, sorry. And then I'm going to launch my grid. Okay, it says my grid's ready, and here's that same, you'll see that same code that we put in for our flip code. Don't worry about copying it or doing any of this quite yet. We can just go to your grid. Okay, and then if you want to personalize it, you can go into actions and you can edit it, and you can add you can add a picture there for your grid. You can change this stuff anytime that you want. If you want, here's some features you might want to check out. Here's your notifications. You'll decide how often you get those notifications. Do you want to see every new video? Do you want an email every single time a kid posts a video? Do you want like a weekly email, a daily email? Do you want them to never email you? And only when you come on and log into Flipgrid will you see stuff? Up to you. You can decide if students can download and share their video after they create it. Totally up to you. You can turn this off if you want. Captions. You can it looks like display auto-generated captions for best results. Videos should be recorded in an environment. Oh, okay. So if you want them to have closed captioning on their video, that's where you could turn that on. And then here, grid followers allow students to receive email notification when new topics are created. They wouldn't get this anyway unless they were a follower of the grid. I'm assuming you want to keep it pretty private, so don't worry about turning that on. You can make your grid hidden. You wouldn't want to do that right now because you want them to be able to see it. But if some point in the future you want to just take it off to where you still have a copy of it on your account, but they aren't distracted by it anymore or can't see it anymore or add to it anymore, then you could hide that grid. And here's again where you could put a picture in if you didn't like this one, or they actually even have some different ones you can choose from. I like that one, so I'll go with that. Okay, so here's my practice grid, and we've looked at editing it, and you can even add a co-teacher on there. It's great. Okay, so before we want to share anything, we have to talk about topics. So this topic is Say Hello to Flipgrid. It's an automatic topic that pops up. You didn't create it. I'm going to go ahead and check it and delete it. So I'm going to go to Actions and go down to Delete Topic because I don't want that to show up when the kids go into their Flipgrid. Yes, I want to delete it. Delete. Okay, so there's no topics right now. So if they went to your grid, they couldn't do anything because there is no topic. So we're going to go ahead and add in a new topic. So add new topic. Okay. And the title, now this is going to be more specific to exactly what you want them to go in and do for this time. So let's say you just want to do like a, how are you doing? And you could title it whatever you want. You don't have to. In here you have some options. So you can choose how long to give them to talk. The max is 10 minutes, and of course the minimum is 15 seconds, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it at 1 minute and 30 seconds. Totally up to you if you want to change that later. And here in the prompt is where they would know, what am I recording today? So, hey kids, I really miss seeing your sweet faces. Record a video to let us know how you are doing and what you have been up to. So the kids would see that. You can add a link in if you wanted to do that in the future. But that's where they'll see the prompt. Okay, and then focus is optional. I would say add some sort of catchy thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little emoji, a little nerdy emoji. You don't have to do that though. And then I'm going to click create topic. My topic is ready. This would be a code just to the specific topic and not to your whole grid. So you can copy, each flip code. You can get a QR code for it and save it somewhere and then upload it to Seesaw. You could copy this link and post it to Seesaw. You could also copy the link that we set up for, so right now I'm in the topic, just the topic page. But if I go back to my grids, so let me go back to the grid called practice. Now you can see that my topic has showed up. And that's there for them. And it would take them straight to this one. If you shared the link for this would take them to the whole grid. So if you have multiple topics in here, they could see all the different topics at once. And then if you just shared this link, it would only share this activity with them. And I'll show you what that looks like for them on their side of things in a little bit. So we've got this ready to go. Now, yeah, I think we're ready to go see what it looks like for the kids. So real quick though, before we do that, I'm going to go back to edit topic and I'm going to scroll down past the focus. I'm going to skip that. There's lots of cool things you could do here, but I'm going to go ahead and skip it because we're just going to use it for a video thing. Okay, so video moderation. I would guess you want this to be turned on because what happens is if this is turned on, then the kids can't see their video or anyone else's video unless you activate them. So that means it's going to send it to you and ask you, is this okay to be posted? So this is where you get to completely control what is shown in the video that they see. Yeah, so if you wanted to make sure that everything coming in is good, that's where you would do that. Okay, so student-to-student replies, you can turn off or on. It's totally up to you. I know you wanted that social aspect of it. So the students can reply via video to another student if you have this turned on. So like they could watch so-and-so's video and then reply with a video to them. Like, oh, wow, that's cool that you did that. I did something like that too. Okay. So that's, yeah. And this is all just for this topic. So every time you create a topic, it's up to you to go in and make sure that these are turned on or off or whatever it is that you like for each topic. Okay, so videos in selfie style, you can choose for them to only do selfies or only do front forward videos, totally up to you. And here's again where you get to kind of like personalize it. Do you want the students to be able to add a title and a hashtag? Do you want to display the number of views a video has gotten? Is, you know, what kind of culture do you want to create? What are you looking for here from Flipgrid? Allow them to add sticky notes while they're recording. Allow them to trim and rearrange video clips. Allow them to add a link to their video. Allow students to like other student videos. So up to you. Like I'd probably turn off that and I might leave that. Turn off this. I want them to be able to like it, but I don't want it to be all about how many views I've gotten. You know, like you have to kind of think through this and decide exactly what you want to do. Okay. Yeah, and this is for you to provide some feedback. All right. So I'm going to update the topic. So now all the changes I've made are saved, and to edit anything, you could just find the little pencil. You can even go to actions and edit it as well. Yeah. Okay. And then of course, you know, you can look through and see the different actions. I don't have to explain that to you, I don't think. So the topic is now created. And what I can do is there's a flip code here. And like, remember I said before, there's also a link. You might notice that the flip code, the E55, is the same as what's at the end of this link. So they can either go to the Flipgrid app and type this in as the code. They can also scan it. If you posted it to Class Dojo, they could scan it. If you post it to Seesaw, they could scan it. You could post both, the link and the QR code, so they have choices. But yes, they're going to go in and it's going to ask them for their student ID because that's how we have it set up. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the teacher mode and I'm going to show you what it looks like for a student. All right, so now let's see it from the student's perspective. The first thing you're going to want to do or tell them to do is download the Flipgrid app. Honestly, most of the iPads from the school already have the Flipgrid app on them, but if they don't, it's also in self-service. So they can go to self-service and they can search for Flipgrid and they can actually reinstall or install or whatever they need to do. So it's already downloaded and I'm good to go. I'm just going to search for it real quick. They can also do it from the website, flipgrid.com. It'll say enter code. Looks like I'm already logged in, so let's go back to this page. Okay, so it'll come up with this page that says enter flip code or scan Flipgrid QR. So they can do either one that you want them to do. I'm going to go ahead and just enter the flip code because that seems like the easiest way. And the flip code is listed at the top of your topic anytime you go to look at it. And you also get to see it whenever you're setting up the grid. I believe you can change this to be something easier if you'd like. So they can type in that code, they can click on the link if you posted in Seesaw, and they can also scan a Flipgrid QR. So there's multiple ways to get to this. I'm going to go ahead and put that code in. As you can see, someone else already posted. But I'm going to go ahead and go down to this green plus button. But before I do that, I want to show you something called Immersive Readers. So I typed out the instructions, and it will actually read the instructions to them. So if I tap this blue circle that has like a book and a speaker icon on it, if I tap that, it'll take me to a screen where it will read the instructions.
Hey kids, I really miss seeing your sweet faces.
Okay, but I can go back, so it will read it to you. And then I'm going to press this green plus button, and it's got me ready to record. So I'll record something. I'm doing great, Miss Yarbrough. My puppies are so cute, and I love snuggling with them. That's my favorite part of being at home. Okay, and so after they record, they'll see the little icon in the corner. I'll tap that. I'm doing great, Miss Yarbrough. Okay, and press the green button when you're ready to go. Sorry. And then they snap a little selfie. And then they press the green arrow again. They can do some editing there. You probably saw some editing tools. They could take it as far or as little as they wanted to. They can add a title, but it's optional, and they can submit their video. And it tells them your video is pending approval, which is good. And then return to grid. And you'll see this one I've already approved, so that's why it's showing up, but my one that I just posted is not there yet. So now I'm going to switch back to the teacher view so you can see how to approve those posts. So now when you go back to your teacher page and you refresh the page, you'll see a new response. You can click on it. So I'm going to go ahead and and it will, you can leave a vibe, which is fun. There's all kinds of things that you can do, but that's how you could view that video. And then you could go where it says hidden. You could go and change it to active. And now when the student goes back into Flipgrid, they will see their post there. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. If you have any questions, of course, I'm here to help. Have some fun, play around with it, and let me know what you think. And if you implement it, I definitely want to know. Good luck, Tracy.